This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 22, is I'm going to play this news report from Al Jazeera where they're reporting how U.S. affordability is in a crisis. And the people dwelling here in Babylon the Great America are struggling to choose between food and gas. This is America. Yup. So, this is something that we here, the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, have been warning our people that famine is coming. All right. And that's going to result into civil unrest, civil war, which goes according to the prophecy of people dying by the sword. All right. So we're here. All right. And also, this confirms that Isaiah 4:1 is coming because, all right, when all hell breaks loose because of the lack of bread, okay, our women, all right, are going to end up having to share a man. It is what it is, okay? And that's part of prophecy. Our women are going to have to, are going to have to learn to share a man. It is what it is, all right? Okay, those are that are of the elect. So it's, the Lord is setting this all up. At the end of the day, this is the will of the Lord, and you can't stop the will of the Lord. I'm going to say this one more time. This is the will of the Lord. He said it's going to happen. It's now happening. In fact, there's a scripture that he says, declare the end from the beginning. Declaring. I gotta put the ing. If you don't spell it correctly, the blue letter's not gonna find it. Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Let's see what it says in the NLT. So let's do the parallel, right? So Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10 in the NLT version, only I can tell you the future before it happens. Everything I plan will come to pass, for I do whatever I wish. Yup. And part of the Lord's plan is to bring famine onto the world. That includes America. Okay? All right? And this is going to result in a civil war. And that's how we know Isaiah 4:1 is coming, because our women are going to want protection, all right, from a man of the Lord. Okay? A man of the Lord is going to be a hiding place. Okay? A hiding place. As it says, is it Isaiah? What is it? Isaiah. Is it 33? Let me type it this way. Isaiah 32, excuse me. Isaiah chapter 32, Verse 2, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Okay, so there you go. All right, so hey, this prophecy has to come to pass. So let's play this.
This is America, and this is a special episode on the affordability crisis in the United States.
When costs exceed,
I mean that just sends a shockwave of shock and awe. The affordability crisis in America. Okay. Hey, we've been warning about this. The prophets of Yahweh Bashim El Shai. Let me play. I'm gonna let it play.
Incomes, people are forced to make painful trade-offs.
This is America, and this is a special episode on the affordability crisis in the United States.
When costs exceed incomes, people are forced to make painful trade-offs.
Stagnating incomes and rising costs
mean more and more people are having to decide whether they go further into debt,
or if they choose to give up food,
fuel, and medicine in order to get by.
Affordability is a serious challenge from one coast
to the other. It doesn't matter
if you're middle class
or on a low or fixed income. Everyone is feeling the pinch.
So let's take a closer look
at the affordability crisis in the United States.
For people right across America, everything has been getting more expensive. From food to fuel, healthcare to heating, everyone's feeling the pain. But if you're a pensioner or living on a low or
basic economics. I have to just say something. Why is everything getting expensive? Why is everything getting expensive? It's because the dollar is losing its power, okay? Inflation is running rampant, okay? The cost of living, all right, keeps going up because the dollar, once again, the dollar is losing its purchasing power. Basic economics, okay? That is the truth, all right?
Predictable income. That's when people are being forced to make some very tough decisions. A mother weighing up how to feed her family with how to get to work. The elderly deciding whether to buy all or some of the medicine they need. That's the reality of the affordability crisis here in the US, but it's not just food and gas prices that have been the problem. It costs more to insure homes. Health insurance has soared, electricity bills are up. All of those factors combined are pushing people who used to have financial breathing space to the brink of poverty. Well, the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding to end the war with Iran has helped ease the financial pressure just slightly, but it will still take months for prices to fall to pre-war levels.
And that shit is bullshit. Iran is saying, all right, they're not discussing the nuclear deal until the first phase, all right, is resolved. Regarding the whole situation in Lebanon, all right? So that this war is not stopping, okay? What you saw was a battle that America lost. Now it's time for boots on the ground, okay? Get ready for a draft, all right? Get ready to see a lot of men get shipped, all right, to the so-called Middle East and never return, all right? We're here. Let's get it in.
Well, we've sent our teams to 5 different states to see how the affordability crisis is affecting people. Kristen Salumi begins our special report from Manhattan in New York.
New York is home to some of the most expensive real estate in the country. And it's not just the fancy high-rises on Billionaires Row. Prices are high all around the city.
About 2/3 of New York households are rentals, and rents hit new records this year. In Manhattan, the median now tops $5,000 a month.
We still have some bagels left.
Forcing some families to make tough choices, even families in working class neighborhoods who own their home.
So this is the space. We have the bathroom.
Kat Casey is a clinical social worker. She uses part of her home as an office during the week, but rents it out to tourists on the weekends to help make ends meet.
You notice it's Edomites now struggling, okay? Edomites, all right, in these particular professions. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, the scriptures are on point. The Lord's will is being done. Okay. This is the will of the Lord. All right, the curses are falling upon these Edomites. All right, let's keep playing.
Mode. Pick out the chippies you want.
Her husband works on the technical side of the theater industry, and with 3 children, they have to get creative to make ends meet.
We have gotten smart and had to get smarter and tighter along the way with eating out and groceries. And so we've had to shift into buying bulk meats.
Jake been doing that, okay? But you see how these Edomites now are having to live like how Jake's been living shopping in bulk, going to Costco or BJ's or what's the other one? Sam's Club, all right?
At Costco, and then
there you go, Costco. There you go.
Them in smaller portions, but it is a constant consideration in our lives of, you know, where can we be a little bit more efficient.
The cost of food is rising too.
As of April, grocery prices nationwide have gone up 3.2% over last year, and some basic staples are even higher. Things like ground beef, coffee, and tomatoes.
Don't the scriptures say that? Got to bring it out, okay? Because the words of the Lord are being fulfilled, all right? This is why we give praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, okay? Because this is his will. Revelation chapter 6, verse 5, the third seal, famine. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come and see, and beheld. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Right. This is going into slavery and is also going into judgment. All right. And we're right now in judgment time. Okay. 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Let's go to the parallel. All right. Drop down to Revelation 6 and 6 in the NLT version. And I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings saying, a loaf of wheat, bread, or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. And don't waste the oil and wine. And the oil and wine represent the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the scriptures, the truth. Okay? All right? So, yeah, all right, this prophecy is being fulfilled, okay? Shoot, let's go to the next verse. The 4th seal, death. That's what's coming to this place, death. Okay, this is the Lord's judgment on America. Revelation chapter 6, verse 7, and when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th beast say, come and see, verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. Okay? So this goes to show you this ain't talking about no underground fiery place. Okay? It says death, okay, and hell followed with him. All right? Hell meaning the pit and the grave. And that's where a lot of people are going to. Straight to the grave, man. All right? If they can afford to bury their dead, okay, then you have the judgment of the Lord, okay, where you're not going to be able to bury your dead. They're going to be on the face of the earth like dung, okay. And power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth to kill with sword and with hunger, that's famine, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. Now, check this out, the 4th part of the earth, okay? What is the 4th part of the earth? What is considered the 4th part of the earth? Yeah, historical cartography. See? Hey, even the Google AI is breaking it down, okay? The 4th part of the world. In Earth map making, the term the 4th part of the world, often written in Latin as quarta orbis pars, was historically used to describe the Americas. Before the age of discovery, European maps only recognized 3 parts of the world: Europe, Asia, and Africa. Okay? And when they came over here, all right, as it was set up by the Lord, all right, these Edomites, okay, who were calling themselves European, all right, they recognized the New World as the fourth part of, all right, the earth. Facts. So this is going to happen here in Babylon the Great America, this judgment, okay? So there's no escaping. There is no escaping, all right, the judgment of the Lord. So let's go back.
In the last year, the federal government has made it tougher to qualify for food assistance.
The city of New York has a network of food.
Yup, thanks to the one big beautiful bill, okay, that was passed. It's harder now to get food assistance, all right? Especially if you're a man, okay? An able-bodied man, all right? You ain't getting shit, okay? So you got like individuals that are in their 60s or late 50s, 60s, okay? They lost their food stamps, okay? So yeah, which is going to increase the crime rate.
Pantries and mobile markets like this one designed to help people in need, no questions asked. And in the last 5 years, they've noticed a very disturbing trend. The number of families with children seeking food assistance has doubled.
City Harvest estimates their food pantries receive 1 million visits a month from families with children.
The high cost of living is one of the main reasons residents have been fleeing New York in recent years. Their top destination? New Jersey, across the Hudson River.
Oh, this reminded me, children dying from hunger, okay? The Lord don't care about, okay, your kids, all right? If you're not serving Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, your kids are going to get the judgment too by hunger. Let me see if I can... Let me see if I can find the scripture where it talks about children famine. Let me see. This is it. Yep, here it is. Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 21. Therefore, deliver up their children to the famine. Well, hold on. Ooh, we gotta get some context in here. Why is the Lord going to deliver your children up to the famine? Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 20. Shall evil be recompensed for good? For they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them and to turn away thy wrath from them. Right. Okay. Now, of course, in context, this is Jeremiah, all right, saying this. Okay. But you can apply this today because, hey, we're coming in Jeremiah's stead as prophets. Okay. Warning you of what's to come. And yet the bulk of our people, all right, they ridiculed us. They disrespected us. They were talking shit behind our back. Yeah. All right. Okay. And brothers got stories of even their own family member or those or where they live at having to go through a situation. Okay. So yeah. And ultimately, all right, if you're not obeying, all right, the words of the Lord via, okay, the prophets, because we're representing the Lord. So we're telling you, okay, what you should do and not do, what you should be doing, obeying the words of the Lord. Okay. So if you're not listening to us and we're representing Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, then hey, here we go. Verse 21. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine and pour out their blood by the force of the sword, and let their wives be bereaved of their children and be widows, and let their men be put to death. Let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. Right. And you already know this World War III, all right, that we're seeing the beginning stages of, all right. You already know there's going to be a draft, all right. A lot of young men are going to go get shipped out to the so-called Middle East. Have fun, okay, fighting the Russians, all right, the Chinese, and of course, all right, you're going to be starting off with the Iranians, okay? And the Persians are waiting for y'all. So there we go. But the point is famine. Famine for the children. Famine. That's in the Bible. Okay? That's what's coming. What was written aforetime was written for our learning. Okay? It happened before, it's going to happen again.
But still within commuting distance. Their second most popular destination, Florida. And that is where we find Phil Lavelle.
Yeah, Kristen, this is why lots of New Yorkers and people from other states migrate south to Florida. You've got the sunshine, the beaches.
Yeah. So I love it. I love that he's saying this because, you know, individuals be thinking that coming down to Florida is Gucci. Like, oh, they got the sun, they got the beach, okay? You know? And that's all a mirage, okay? Because coming down here, not only is it crazy expensive, it is hot, muggy, okay? And people down here are always angry. Just drive on I-95. Just drive on I-95, okay?
That illusion of an idyllic lifestyle. But there is a darker financial side to life here. There it is. Insurance.
Yep. Insurance. Because of what? The floods, the hurricanes, okay? So insurance is very high, which is forcing people not able to afford a home, okay? And forcing them into an apartment that's hella expensive, just like New York.
This is a big problem for a lot of people.
I'm 51 and facing palliative care.
That's Leah, and this is her home, a car parked on waste ground near Tampa.
I didn't give up.
Oh yeah, you see this a lot down here in South Florida, or in Tampa, or in Florida in general. And brothers can definitely provide testimony. You see a lot of Edomites living in their cars, begging for food. Okay, I tried to do a lesson on it, and they many years ago they pulled my video down. Okay, and I got a strike because I was just recording Edomites begging for food. Okay, begging for money, begging, okay, to survive, because they're trying to survive. All right, and yeah, these are the curses. Let's get Deuteronomy. All right, Deuteronomy 30:7. These are the curses. Okay, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. There you go. So you got Edomites living in the car. The Edomite woman, okay? And she'll end up dying a horrible, slow death, because that's the judgment for her, because the Lord don't like her.
My whole career and everything and everyone, just to come down to my hometown and die in my SUV. That's not what I'm here for.
But where she lives?
Yes, you are. You're here to be judged. That's your judgment, okay? That's the will of the Lord. Hey, look, the scriptures talk about vengeance. Okay? All right? Vengeance. Let me see. It should be Sirach 39, if I'm not mistaken. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. Tawari Abashimi Al-Shai. Putting the memory, okay, in my brain. Sirach chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. All right, who created the spirits? Whoa, we gotta, okay. Father of spirits, okay. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. Right, speaking of your biological father. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Right, you're supposed to be giving reverence to the Father of spirits. Okay, Yahweh. Okay, facts. Okay, so now we know, all right, who's creating the spirits of vengeance. All right. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. This is Sirach, or the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Okay? So this is the will of the Lord. This is how the Lord wanted you to get your judgment. Okay? 29, fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. 30, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. Right. The Lord saw fit that you get punished like this because you are wicked. Okay? You are wicked. And now it's time to get your judgment. See, what you Edomites, you so-called white people don't understand is that you're going to be judged, okay, for what you did in this life and in your funky past life. Okay? And see, you Edomites like to forget about slavery, what's it called? The conquistadors, all right? Here in America, the stealing of land from the so-called Native Americans and Seminole Indians, which are Gad and Reuben, okay? You have to pay. And this is you paying the price. The Lord is now judging your nation. And that's why your own women are dying in vehicles down here in hot Florida, Tampa, okay? All right, cooking. The Lord's cooking your women down here, all right? But you don't give a fuck, all right? A lot of you Edomites, you're selfish. You're about preservation, all right? Self-preservation. Yeah, preservation. That's the word. Okay, an inherent biological instinct and behavior drive that protects the living organism and harm and ensures survival. While it originally refers to physical survival, it involves and encompasses mental, emotional, social well-being, often taking the form of boundary setting and self-care, right? Okay? Survival instinct. Yeah, self-preservation. You don't care about your nation. You only care about yourself. All right? Yeah, this is it. When it crosses the line. While crucial for well-being, the instinct can become counterproductive. Sometimes the defense walls we build for self-preservation can isolate us or prevent personal growth and meaningful risk, right? And that's what you're seeing amongst the old Edomites. Okay, they're saying the hell with their the generations that came after them. Okay, because really, who's causing all this shit? These old Edomites, okay, that have all the money, okay, the greed, all right, and of course, that also coincides with the inflation, because these old Edomites, they know what it's like to go through an economic crisis. So in their okay greedy minds, it's like, oh, I gotta keep hoarding more when they seeing things are bad. Okay, even though they're in their late 70s and 80s, okay, about to what's that term called? Push daisies. All right, but their mind is already on what? Greed, hoarding, self-preservation. And that's why the generations after, like this Edomite right here, all right, is going to suffer. All right, but that's her judgment. Okay.
That is the least of her worries. Leah has severe health issues.
I'm in stages of anorexia and bulimia, and I'm to be under care of a cardiologist. It's going to end my life.
She tells us she desperately needs help.
Just a few weeks ago, I was almost in full-blown cardiac arrest.
But she has no medical insurance, so no safety net.
I'm worth helping, you know? Absolutely. And I'm worth insurance. I'm worth going to see a cardiologist. I know I can get myself well, but I can't do it by myself. I need my helpers.
People like Leah simply fall through the system here, and this is why. Although nationally there is some protection for those with little money coming in, here, no income, no dependent children. Those people in Florida, they simply don't register. And health insurance is only part of the story, because remember where this state is situated geographically, by the warm waters of the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf Coast. Hurricanes are a fact of life. This state gets more than any other. 41% of those that make landfall hit Florida. On average, that is nearly 7 separate billion-dollar weather disasters a year. Here on the state.
And who brought the storms? The Lord, okay? All right? Not only to punish you when that storm hit you, but also the after effects to make things more expensive, to make things more uncomfortable, okay? This is why you fear the Lord, okay? This is why you need to understand the will of the Lord. All right? The Lord's the one that did all this, all right, to make your life uncomfortable. You're coming down here to Florida thinking you're going to, all right, sit on the beach and drink pina colada. The fuck out of here, all right? Okay? And that's why you Edomites, you're catching hell now. Because Jake been going through this, okay? Jake that live in Florida, all right, they don't have time to be going to the beach and sip pina colada. They're working 2-3 jobs, okay, in that hot ass sun, okay? Northern Kingdom, for example, be out in the sun, okay, doing lawn care in this 90, 100 degree humid weather, okay? It's crazy, man.
West Coast, they had 2 big ones back to back in 2024. Helene caused catastrophic flooding. 13 days later, Milton's winds devastated communities and spawned tornadoes. A combined cost of more than $7 billion in insurance.
So what does that mean? Insurance policies go up. Insurance rates go up. Okay? Which now people are going to have to choose. Do I keep health insurance? Do I keep home insurance? Okay? Yeah.
Payouts. So you have health insurance. Then there is hurricane or wind insurance. On top of that, there is flood insurance, which is mandatory for some people with a mortgage. Why not also throw...
that's right. In Florida, when it comes to getting a mortgage, all right, you got to have flood insurance. Okay? So look at all these insurance. All right? And with all these storms. All right? Do the math. All right? Again, famine is seeping in.
Auto insurance, because people have got to drive, they all start to add up. And then for some people, it comes down to a simple choice. Which of these can they afford to lose or not to lose?
I woke my husband up at midnight and said, we have to start moving things upstairs. Water's coming in.
Linda's home was flooded by Hurricane Helene.
Our house was damaged. We lost 2 vehicles.
Here we go now.
So she and husband Mark know how important insurance is. They own this personal training studio, which also needs coverage. But their healthcare premiums shot up in January, like millions of Americans, after changes to the system.
We were paying $238 a month, and then our plan went up to over $3,000 a month.
And something had to give.
We've had to give up hurricane insurance and flood insurance on everything but our home.
Yep, and that's what's happening. More and more homeowners in Florida are giving up on home insurance and flood insurance, okay? Yeah, this is it, man. All right? $3,000, okay? From $200, all right? And this is why civil unrest is coming. Civil war is on the horizon, and it makes so much sense.
Our business does not have wind insurance because that was going to be over $20,000 a year just for the wind insurance, in addition to the property and the liability.
Oh, by the way, guess who's getting affected by this? Edomites. 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 Them curses are coming upon these Edomites, these so-called white people. They're finally, okay, getting their judgment. You know, they thought they could live the high life. They thought they could, okay, be comfortable, all right, enjoying this country. Not anymore, okay? Now they're stressing, just like Jake, okay? So, yeah, this is a confirmation that America's on its way out.
Insurance.
And all of this as we enter the 2026 hurricane season, with every chance another storm or storms could hit. For some people, there just isn't enough money to go round, period. It's either home or it's health, or it's neither. Perhaps Leah says it best.
We can do better.
So that's part of the...
Nah, man. This is judgment, okay? This is the will of the Lord.
The story here in Florida. Let's take it over to the other side of the country, to the West Coast, and John Hendren in California.
Phil, here in California, we have the same insurance problem, but different natural disasters. Here, it's mudslides and earthquakes and wildfires. Most of the town of Pacific Palisades back there was wiped out in last year's fires. People were lucky to get out with their lives and an insurance policy that maybe covered most of their homes. Now comes the rebuilding and reinsuring at skyrocketing prices if you can find insurance at all. Life in California comes with risks and an ever-rising price tag.
Who brought the fire? The Lord did. Okay? This judgment.
What draws people here? Swimming pools, movie stars, public beaches that run the length of the iconic...
Oh, so you heard that? Swimming pools, movie stars. So idol worshiping. What did the Lord say about idol worshiping in Babylon? Let's go to Jeremiah 50. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 2. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard. Publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded. Murdoch is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. Okay? This is what the Lord says. Tell the whole world and keep nothing back. Raise a signal flag to tell everyone that Babylon will fall. Her images and idols will be shattered. Her gods, Bel and Murdoch, will be utterly disgraced. Okay? So yeah, we're in these times, man. All right? Let me see if I can find another idol. Oh yeah, Jeremiah 50 verse 16. Cut off the sower from Babylon and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. Yeah, we're in that time. All right, the famine. For fear of the pressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. Right, and you're seeing that too. A lot of people are actually physically leaving America, those that can afford to. Okay? And why is the Lord judging America? Because the children of Israel are captive here. Jeremiah chapter 50 verse 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast and refused to let them go. 34. Their Redeemer is strong, the Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, meaning judge, and he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. But the one who redeems them is strong. His name is the Lord of heaven's armies. He will defend them and give them rest again in Israel. Right, because the Lord's going to deliver us from this captivity. But for the people of Babylon, there will be no rest. Right, ain't no rest coming to this place. Nothing but hell and oppression and tyranny. Okay. Let me see if there's let me go to Jeremiah 51. Just want to see if there's another scripture where it talks about the idol worshiping that goes down here. Oh, this is a good one. Jeremiah 51 and 13. O that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. You see that? And when you go to the word covetousness, all right, it's batazai, right? Let's get some Hebrew, some lashawan kwadash, okay? Which means the tongue holy, okay? This is a ba, as you see right here. This is a taza, okay, as you see right here. And then this is an I. So ba taza I, which means what? Profit, unjust gain, acquired by violence. Right, how did you get this land? Okay? How did you get this land, Mr. So-called white man, white woman, white child? How'd you get this land? Esau, Edom. Okay? So now it's time for your judgment. All right? You thought you can take the land from the indigenous people dwelling here and then build up the land from the slave labor, from the so-called Negroes. All right? And by the way, the so-called Negroes and indigenous people that were dwelling over here are all Israelites. All right? So you touch the apple of the Lord's eye. Okay? Dishonest gain. You see that? That's why you're getting your judgment. Okay? Yeah, this is it. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 17. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder is confounded by the graven image. For his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. Right? Okay, these people are idol worshippers. All right, and that's why they're confounded, and that's why, okay, they have no hope. They have no answers. 18. They are vanity, the workers of errors. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. There you go. Okay. And this is all talking about the destruction. Oh, this is a good one too. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 35. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. Shall the inhabitant of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of the Chaldea. Shall Jerusalem say, right? Because famine and sword, all right, that's judgment for you wicked heathens. All right? NOT, make Babylon suffer as she made us suffer, say the people of Zion. Make the people of Babylonia pay for spilling our blood, says Jerusalem. And this is the Lord, okay, all right, bringing the pain, bringing the payback, all right? Yeah. So let's keep playing.
Coastline, in a state that from Silicon Valley to Hollywood runs the world's fourth largest economy. But prosperity here comes with a price. You can see California's economy at work here on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, where the well-heeled go to cover them. It's a good life for those who can afford it. The median home price statewide, over $900,000. With rising inflation, even those who earn well above average strain to pay that. People like Allison and Matt.
I make close to $200,000.
I make about $100,000 a year.
Our housing is...
Look at that. Combined, they make $300,000 and they're struggling. Edomites, they're complaining. Okay? This place is done, man. All right? This place is done. People making six figures, okay, are complaining about how expensive it is. Oh, man.
You know, $3,650, like electricity, all like the major bills that come together as a whole, probably around $600 a month. And the grocery bill was never this, though. This is next level.
The state is home to luxury sedans and sports cars that would look at home on a racetrack.
Oh, you saw that? You saw that gas price? Let's go. Oh, man, we got to show that. Okay, this is why civil unrest is coming. Okay, the Egyptians against the Egyptians. All right, because America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Okay, hold on. There we go. Look at them gas prices. Oh, by the way, these gas prices will be hitting to the nearest town and city near you. Okay, just because you're not living in California don't mean these prices ain't coming. Okay, these prices are coming. All right, because they don't give a damn anymore. All right, the elites don't give a damn. They want their new world order. All right, and ultimately it's of the Lord. All right, to make sure prophecy is being fulfilled. All right, so that civil unrest can occur, famine can occur. All right, for what? For judgment. Because at the end of the day, who ruleth in the kingdom of men? Who ruleth in the kingdom of men? Fine, I'll do it this way. Daniel 4 and I believe 17. This matter is by decree of the watchers. All right, and we're the watchers. We're decreeing, okay, that hey, this is the will of the Lord, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. You see that? And giveth to it whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of man. Right. Okay, the Lord even allowed this base man Esau Edom to rule for a period of time. All right. However, the Lord is letting the whole world know, okay, that this man's rulership is coming to the end. All right, and that's why he sent forth the prophets, all right, to let the world know, all right, that this kingdom is is up. All right, and that's why the world is seeing it. People are clearly seeing it now. They're like, yeah, all right, this is we're at the end. Okay, people that are not even into the Bible can literally say out of their mouth that, yeah, we're at the end of society. Okay, this is the end of the world. All right, people that are not even into the Bible are saying it. Okay, because why? All right, it's plain. All right, and again, the prophets are making it plain upon table through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But the point is, who ruleth in the kingdom of men? All right, the Lord, the Most High. All right, so he's going to bring the pain. All right, because he's done with this kingdom. It served his purpose. All right, America was put here for our punishment. Now that the Lord, okay, lifted up a major curse from us by opening our hearts, okay, meaning our minds, to this truth. All right, that's it. We've awoken. We're Israelites. All right, so there's no need for America anymore. There's no need for Babylon. Now it's time to get rid of it.
Those prices are driven up by higher taxes, tighter regulations, and the Iran war, which is hurting middle and lower income drivers hardest.
And again, I'm going to say this one more time, that Iran war is not over. It was a battle, okay? And there's another battle coming, okay? Real quickly, I want to show you something, all right? How many battles were in World War II? Historians generally agree that there were thousands of engagements. The total depends entirely on whether you count massive multi-month campaigns or small local skirmishes, and whether you define a battle by land, sea, or air. If you are looking for defining moments, most historians categorize the war into about 15 to 30 major battles and campaigns that shifted the momentum of the conflict, aka the war. So what you saw with the so-called conflict, which is really a battle in this, war, and I'm going to keep saying it one more time. We're in the beginning stages of World War III, all right? What you saw was a battle, all right? And right now, both sides are recalibrating, okay? Especially America and them JJs, they're mending their wounds, all right? But there's going to be another battle, okay? Because this war has just started, okay? So, yeah. And that's why it makes perfectly sense why things are going to get, chaotic here in America, all right? Because they got to fight this war and while at the same time control the masses here that are starving. So America is going to fracture. It's going to be divided. A civil war is going to happen, okay? And while America's trying to fight off their enemies, which it proves that America is going to lose. Because if you can't keep your own hometown, all right, stable and functioning as a society, all right, you're losing your hometown. You're losing your country.
I pay more for my gasoline for my car than I do my car payment. I have an Audi Q3. I pay,
Well, you're gonna have to lose that Audi. You're gonna have to get into a Hyundai, okay, or a Toyota. All right, the days of living luxury are bye-bye, okay, and that's why these Edomites are gonna crash out, because, okay, they are idol worshippers. Okay, they literally look to their tangible items as something of value and something of a status. Okay, so that's why they're going to crash out when they realize they can't afford the next Audi or the next BMW or the Mercedes.
$20 to $130 a week now for gas. So it's ludicrous. I mean, it's gotten to a point now where I feel like I'm lower class.
But the over-the-top wealth comes...
And that the pride. She says she's lower class. Bitch, you make 6 figures, 200,000, and your husband makes 100,000. You collectively make 300,000, but you consider yourself lower class. All right, but that's pride, man. That's why, hey, the Lord's gonna bring down the pride of you Edomites, man, once and for all. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall.
With an underbelly of poverty just a few miles away, these people join a quarter of the nation's homeless on the California streets. For generations, the Golden State represented the promise of a better life.
And now, for a growing number of middle-class families, as Heidi Jo Castro found in Pennsylvania, the challenge isn't reaching the American dream, it's holding on to it.
John, those same concerns are true for people living here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. 50 years ago, this was a booming steel town. Jobs paid well, people lived in a thriving community. But the plant closed in the 90s because it couldn't keep up with cheaper steel.
Right, same thing that happened in Gary, Indiana back in the 60s. And look at Gary, Indiana. All right, it's hell. All right. Gary, Indiana was a major steel production location. All right, but then what happened? Steel production got shipped overseas. All right, thanks to these Edomite politicians. Okay, that you voted for. See why voting was nonsense? All right.
Steel from overseas, and now nearly a third of people living here are
did you hear what she said?
As families, as Heidi Jo Castro found in Pennsylvania, the challenge isn't reaching the American dream, it's holding on to it.
John, those same concerns are true for people living here in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. 50 years ago, this was a booming steel town. Jobs paid well, people lived in a thriving community. But the plant closed in the 90s because it couldn't keep up with cheaper steel from overseas. And now, nearly a third of people living here are in poverty. And their struggles are only getting harder as prices keep climbing.
Where are you going?
It's the first week of June, time for the Civic family's monthly reunion of grandparents, siblings, and the newest grandbaby.
We always...
That's a Jake baby. You know that's a Jake baby.
We just all get together, go out to eat, we go out for ice cream, go shopping together, and spend time as a family.
The family is surviving on disability payments from the government. And now it's even harder for them to celebrate because they're all chipping in to...
They on the drugs. You see her twitching, drinking, and on the drugs. All right. Hey, man. This baby was set up for failure, man. Straight up. But, yeah, man. You can watch more of this. Yeah. Hey, let me get... Let me get a second address, and I'll close off on this. All right. Because hey, we're here as prophets to let our people know that the words of the Lord are faithful and true. Well, what's going on here? Well, how convenient. Okay, how convenient. So, all right, there we go. 2 Esdras chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, who are the Lord's people, the Israelites, which I'll put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Right. Okay, that's why the Lord put a heavy spirit on us to bring out his words. All right, and then we'll use the current events just to give it color. But at the end of the day, the words of the Lord are faithful and true, as it says right here in verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Because at the end of the day, this is what the Lord said is going to happen, and it's happening. Okay? 3, fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Right, we didn't give a damn what you said about us on the comment boards or on the highways and byways. We gave no fucks because we saw this coming, and now it's happening. Okay? So fuck you and get ready to die, those scoffers and those fucking, degenerates. 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Facts. Fuck you and die. Starve. Get ready for World War III. Get ready to be drafted. Get ready for a civil war. Okay? Fuck you. Woo! It's getting spicy. Verse 5, behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. The sword, famine, death, and destruction. Facts, man. All right? This is the will of the Lord. This is why we okay, heard the word, and we moved in fear and said, we got to serve the Lord now. We got to do everything in our power, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, because at the end of the day, it's through him, because faith is a gift, all right, to seek the Lord, all right, and obey and follow his commandments, all right. We want no part of the Lord's judgment. This is the Lord judging. 6, for wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Right. That's the reason why. See, the Lord gives a reason why he's bringing the sword, the famine, the death, okay? Why he's making this family, okay, struggle. You know, let's watch a little bit more.
By Baby Maya's supplies.
As a family, we all have to pinch our money together and afford to, like, put towards diapers and wipes for the baby.
I help my daughter with her baby. I buy her diapers.
What in the hills have eyes do we have here? This woman is cooked, all right? Probably fentanyled up. But look. Look at the shirt she's wearing. You can't make... Does that shirt say wicked?
Wipes, whatever she needs. And it's just...
It sure does. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. All praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. This Edomite woman is wearing a shirt called Wicked. Okay? Wicked. So come on, man. Let's read that one more time. Hey, that was the spirit. That's why the Lord wanted me to keep playing. She's wearing a shirt called Wicked. Oh, man. All right. 6, for wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. You see that? Okay. So this is why judgment is happening, all right, to these people. All right. What in the hills have eyes? That is crazy. Anyway, hey, you can keep watching. It's getting more spicy. Then you seeing these damn what's it called? These so-called experts. They don't even have an answer. All right, which goes to show you that the prognosticators, the scripture where it talks about prognosticators, all right, or what's it called, are not providing a solution, all right. And this is how we know that this place is done, all right, because when the what they call the so-called educated don't even have an answer, or they can't even come with a logical, okay, solution, all right, this is how you know a kingdom is finished, okay. So Lord willing, let's lessons edify, man. Hey, this place is done, because hey, this place is ruled in wickedness, so it has to be judged for ruling in wickedness. So hey, the famine, the sword is coming to this place, all right. You clearly see the handwriting on the wall. Right now, these people are experiencing famine, and it's going to lead to civil unrest, civil war, as it says. And you know, I'll close off on this one. Isaiah chapter 19, okay, at the second verse. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Right. Okay. And that's what we're clearly seeing. Okay. And it's leading to this. We're clearly seeing that it's leading to this. 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. Yup. And I will destroy the counsel thereof. Yup. And that's why these wizards, these prognosticators, they don't have the answer. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. Yup. Okay. What does it say in the NLT version? The Egyptians will lose heart, and I will confuse their plans. They will plead with their idols for wisdom and call on spirits, mediums, and those who consult the spirits of the dead. Right, and that's the elites, the international bankers, asking if they have more time, if they can have more time. All right, and the spiritual demon Satan is going to ignore them. Okay, is going to ignore their prayers. It's going to ignore, okay, their requests. All right. Oh, we got to keep playing. All right. Because check this out.
Like rock.
It wasn't supposed to be like this in Johnstown. Donald Trump had promised people here during his last presidential campaign that he would lower prices.
We will defeat inflation very quickly.
Ah, man, the cruel Lord. Look at these idiots, man. They really thinking that Donald Trump was for them.
And we will make America affordable again.
That message resonated, and 70% of voters in the county sided with him, helping to deliver the pivotal swing state of Pennsylvania.
I think the people that live here have seen a lot of hardship.
Yep. So it was a complete lie. All right, it's gotten worse. Hey, let's finish it off. All right. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. That's Donald Trump. Mr. 47, aka Nero. And a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, the Lord of hosts. Right. And Donald Trump doesn't care. He said he doesn't care about the cost of living. All right. He's only focused on Iran not getting a nuclear weapon. He said that openly. Okay. He doesn't care about, all right, people's finances and expensive. Just roughly paraphrasing. You can find it. That was all over the news media. NLT, I will hand Egypt over to a hard, cruel master. A fierce king will rule them, says the Lord of heaven's armies. Right. So the Lord wanted Donald Trump to be president so he can enforce nothing but pain and cruelty on the citizens of Babylon the Great, which is also spiritually Egypt and Sodom. All right. So yeah. So Lord willing, this less edifying. All right. We're almost out of here, man. It's high time to wake up out of sleep. It's gonna get even more dire, more tighter, and that's why you're gonna have to let go of things that you're used to having. Okay. The Lord is making it here to be uncomfortable, and it's a good thing because this place ain't our rest. This place is polluted. Okay. So you have to be in that mindset of uncomfortability, all right? Because we want the kingdom. That's where the rest is at, the kingdom. So with that, and the kingdom is for Israel and Israel only. Comprende? And with that, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh. Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostles, elders. We're almost out of here. To the fuses that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, pray your head covered. Shalom.